What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Christian Kuntz Podcast, brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. There's never a fee unless we get money for you. Shout out to Edgar Snyder's, proud sponsor of ours. Happy to have them in our corner. Today we got Jesse with us. We're not full strength. Trey is still out. He's dealing with some issues. He's in the country, but he's dealing with some issues. He will be back.
He might not be in the country.
Yeah, he might still be in Bangkok. Yeah, I'm serious. He might have never came back.
I don't blame.
We got Swing behind the boards. We are joined by a very special guest, two-time Pro Bowler, All-Pro selection, Patrick Queen.
Let's go.
How you feeling today?
Feeling great.
Still sore from our win, coming off a win against the Colts.
Yeah.
How we feeling about that? 5 turnovers, defense. That's pretty fucking good. I like that shit.
Yeah.
I like seeing that.
That was a pretty good day. That was fun.
It was a good day.
That was fun.
He says that's a good day. That's a great day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a great day.
Just another day.
The Colts came in. They were hot. They
That's hell.
Yeah, they came in. They wanted to run the rock, but I feel like we did a very good job stopping the run. And as every single press conference, every single person on the internet says, you must stop the run.
Yep.
Where does stopping the run begin with? D-line, linebacker play, schematics. Give me a little, just, is it more of a will of like a want to in the NFL?
Yeah.
Like you get guys that just want to, and then you stop the run.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. Like you got to have schematics involved at times, depending on what personnel they're in, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's just physicality and effort. Like I always say that, and I got mad at myself a couple times in the beginning of the season because my effort wasn't there. Physicality wasn't no effort to it. So when you see how we played this past game, you see every single guy getting to the ball. It was like 7 people on the pile, pushing the pile back. You got people hitting, Jalen coming down, hitting people in the middle of the field. It's crazy. Like, it's just physical defense is always going to, push us over the edge. So
I feel like for you, I want to get into your story growing up and everything, but I feel like for you, being a part of LSU, into Baltimore, historic defenses, like notoriously good defenses, and then coming to Pittsburgh, like you've always been a part of defenses that have been like
Crazy.
crazy.
yeah.
What you think that's like that's no surprise, or do you think like you're in the middle of that for a fucking reason?
Yeah, I think it's just things happen for a reason. And I try to put myself in that position. Obviously LSU and Baltimore and stuff, but going into free agency, it was options on the table, and I'm like, Pittsburgh fits me. I know them well, and they got tired of losing to them, so why not join them? But I think
Can't beat them, join them.
yeah, that's the thing. But I mean, I love physical defense because it's me. I like to talk trash. I like to get to the ball. I like to hit people as hard as I can. Sometimes it costs me though.
I will give you some flowers. Not talking about your physicality, but we have a field goal, even a field goal PAT. He started this trend of coming on the field and dapping up the specialists and the guys that are on the field goal team. That means something. That's a lot. Like that's good for our we like that shit. Now there's a handful of you guys that come out. I don't know if you know, like you're one of the first ones out there, but like there's a line of guys that come out now every time after every PAT, after every field goal that like dap us up to like good op, good hold, good kick. Like that shit means something. So I appreciate that because you don't get that. Like
it's big.
People don't understand like. A PAT for me is that's a huge play.
Yeah,
like
right.
That's my part to contribute and do my fucking job. So for guys that like take a little, like obviously like they expect snap, hold, kick, everything to go in at that shit to be perfect. But
job.
and people don't like take appreciation of that because you get up and go to the bathroom during. Well, team scores a touchdown. Like who the fuck's watching the PAT?
Right.
My mom.
Right.
That's it. It's like my mom, my daughter. So like watching the snap. But that's it. So I had to give him his flowers there because he started a trend that, like, watch next PAT. We had a PAT, we had a field goal, EQ out on the field. He's like, right there. Peyton behind him, Connor Hayward. Now you got Jack Sawyer back there, Carson. All the guys. They're all, like, fucking lined up on the field, like, waiting. BE's out there.
Yeah.
They're feeling.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, I think it's really big of you to talk about, you said you were lacking in an area. Like, so what does that look like for you to recognize that? First of all, I feel like that takes a lot of self-awareness, and I think that's a really positive thing. And I don't think people hear that a lot. You don't see this side. So when you said that, it kind of perked up my ears because it's like, that's something you'll hear that in the chirpings in the fan and all that shit, and they don't, they're not on the field. They don't really know what the fuck's going on.
They have no
But
fucking idea what's going on.
they have no fucking idea. But you saying that is really good awareness. Can you just like talk about that a little bit? Like what made you recognize that and say, this is what I got to do to be better?
Yeah, it was that one play when we played the Seahawks, and it was like crunch time. We needed a stop, and they ran that toss and they scored. And I just remember like Peyton going and trying to cut it off, and I'm like always telling him at practice, I'm like, hey, I'm coming, just send it back to me. And I kind of left him out to dry, and I didn't get there, and my effort was piss poor. And it stuck with me, and it pissed me off, and it's just like it takes a little time to get in the game shape, but
yeah.
And I hurt my ribs that game, and there was a whole bunch of stuff, and I can't make excuses for it because obviously I get paid to do it, and I chose to be in the game. So it was just like, if I'm gonna be out here, I gotta go 100% every single play.
Yes.
Tired or not, if I'm that tired, I'll call a time. I'm telling my team, I'm calling time. I'm tired. I can't move, or whatever it is. So, but it's just no excuse. Like as a linebacker, inside linebacker, the guy to not be able to get to the ball every single play, and just have that effort on display, even if the physicality lacks, because you're not as strong as somebody or bigger than somebody. Like effort won't always, flash and stuff. So that was me just being me.
It takes a pro. It takes a pro.
This is what I'm trying to emphasize. Like that's huge for you to say that too, because I know you guys hear like everybody has their complaints and all that stuff. With the fans thinking, oh, so and so needs to be here doing this, and a lot of times it's like, you're looking at it from a bird's eye view, so of course you're going to see things. But you talking about that and being as raw and honest and noticing that, I think that's huge, and that should say a lot to the fans, honestly. Like that this is deeper than that. You're not just showing up collecting a check. Like you're actually evaluating yourself. You're being critical, and you're like, I got to change this shit. So that's cool to hear, especially. And you felt like you let down your boy in that moment, which like people don't understand that camaraderie that goes into it as well too. Like. That's huge. I just want to emphasize that.
It takes, I'll emphasize again, it takes
trying to get your mic fixed. I see you over there. Like,
hey, you're it. I'm fucking with it right now. What do I got to do? Tighten this? What do I do?
You're good.
No, we're good. We still rolling? I know. I want my shit up here. Hey, I got it now. It's good.
You sure?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Let it roll.
Shouldn't it just fucking fall every time you fix it?
We're good. We're good. Back to my point. Thanks for this little Allen wrench. I don't even know how to use this fucking thing. It takes a pro to recognize. I know, like, we'll talk about high school kids, college kids.
Yes.
Pouting, bitching, like, making excuses. In the professional level, there's no fucking room for that.
No.
Like if he's pouting and bitching and not giving effort, we're gonna have a shitty defense because he's the quarterback of our defense.
Right.
So I mean, it just takes a pro to recognize, like, yo, if I'm not playing to 100%, then no one behind me, no one in front of me is gonna play to 100%. Why would they?
Right.
So kudos again to you. I mean, it takes a pro to do that, and that's what's gonna make our defense good. I wanna get into your early days, Livonia High School. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Livonia,
Louisiana. I read some interesting stuff that coming out of high school, obviously you were running back, linebacker, you were heavily recruited, but you didn't have like these big time offers, which I was very surprised about. You didn't have LSU till late. You had like Tulsa, some other smaller schools. What was that about? Like, why was that? Go through your whole high school experience, like playing high school football, starting as a freshman.
Yeah. So it was a small town, middle of nowhere. And it was just hard to get recruits out of there because like guys before me were excellent athletes, but she never had the grades. And so it was just, I guess it was like just a little thing about where our school is, and people probably figured there was never going to be anybody with good grades coming out of there. So I started going to a bunch of camps and stuff, try to get noticed. And I'm like to the back of the line. I'm a shy kid, don't really talk that much. And then one camp is like DK was there, Tyree Cleveland, there was a whole bunch of people there.
Crazy.
And I remember like being in the back of the line, my mom goes like, Patrick, get to the front. And I look back and then all the dudes is looking at me. I'm like, okay, I got to show out now. So I ended up going on one-on-one with Tyree a couple times. He got me, I think we went 4 times and he got me twice. So
that was a freshman camp? Like freshman, sophomore camp?
That was, I want to say freshman for sure. Yeah, freshman. And then going and getting to high school and stuff, started getting offers and stuff. It was all smaller schools. La Tech, which was Blake Baker was there. He recruited me, offered me. Then Ole Miss came into the picture. Got the Ole Miss coach left and went to South Florida. South Florida offered me. He left South Florida. He went to Indiana. Indiana offered me. But it was just really down to LSU, Ole Miss, and Indiana.
It was always LSU. Like, you're from Louisiana, you got to be every kid's dream to.
Yeah.
I was about to go to Ole Miss.
Really?
About to go to, bro. I had an Ole Miss birthday cake for my 16th birthday. And it was just the whole thing because LSU took so long to offer me. I was like pissed at them. Because they was like, since like 8th grade, like, hey, we're gonna offer you. Then they'll offer somebody else at my position.
Was it Coach O?
It was Les at the time.
Les Miles, and then Coach O.
Coach O got the job after I already committed. I think Coach O got the job my senior year of high school when Les got fired.
And you stuck with him.
Yeah, Les was recruiting me for running back and linebacker. He was like, you get here, you try both, whatever you like, play it. And then
What'd you want to play?
I didn't really care, bro. I was honestly scared to play defense.
For real?
Bro, in high school, I did not like to hit. I hated it.
What the fuck has changed?
Yeah.
What the fuck, bro?
What the fuck happened?
Holy shit.
It's just, I don't know, bro. My dad was like, running backs don't get paid and you're going to get beat up all the time. And it's just something that he kept telling me and stuff. And then, obviously, like, I broke my ankle my junior year, diving into the touchdown, and somebody rolled on into it and broke it. Then my senior year, I kept hurting my ankles, kept spraining, I'm trying to cut. So I was just like, Coach was like, you going to play linebacker? At that point, I'm like, cool.
Yeah, that's wild.
Did you have one hit where you're like, actually like hitting people?
Bro, like, wow.
Wait, question.
Yeah.
I don't think I like hitting until like my junior year in college, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I used to have, bro, it was like, because I came in, it was Darius Geis, Darrell Williams, Clyde, like those dudes was like sturdy backs.
Oh,
yeah.
So like every time you go into a hole, and then Coach O was like a big, like 3v3 type of drill guy. So it was just like truly one-on-one. It's like head to head, pow, head that pow. So it's just like, I don't like this, you know?
It's crazy.
It kind of grew into it. And then you sit behind Devin White and you watch him. And
He's a freak.
Yeah, you kind of learn things. And then I see him like chesting up people the whole time, keeping his head out of it, his shoulders out of it. So I started doing that and got good at that. And then he wasn't a problem no more.
Yeah. So you grew up with sisters, right?
Yeah.
You're the only brother in the family.
Yeah.
You think that played an impact on you not liking to hit growing up with sisters?
Nah.
Because they would probably beat the shit out of you.
No, it like for me, like it's a whole bunch of going to it, but I'm real close with one of my sisters, like real close. And she used to just take me everywhere with her. It was always a good time. I used to be flirting with her friends and stuff from time to time, being a jacko. Nah, I'm joking. But it was just, I don't know, it was just a loving family. My dad was tough on me always growing up. He still apologizes about it to this day. But I think what he did preparing me, bringing me up, how he brought me up, has prepared me for like growing into what I am now. So I think the whole sisters thing and parents definitely play a part and didn't play a part.
Lining up Oklahoma drills with the sisters.
Bro, that'd be crazy. They would have got whacked. Is that cool? Yeah. They would have got whacked.
Oh my God, some Terry Tate office linebacker shit.
Could you imagine? The guys that grow up with just sisters sometimes are the craziest motherfuckers.
Yes,
because they get bullied like girls.
By girls, yeah.
Like high school girls, man.
Evil and all that stuff. I never got into that. I'm so glad.
No, thank God, pal. Thank God. So you're at LSU. You get to LSU. Coach O's there. I mean, your team at LSU are arguably the best college football team of all time. Yeah. Arguably,
I'll say arguably.
Arguably, guys at Ohio State are going to argue with,
of course,
some of their teams. I'm sure Alabama teams are going to argue, but yeah. I mean, that LSU team, that national championship team, you won defensive MVP to the national championship. That's pretty big time shit.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like? Like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Joe Burrow, Clyde Edwards, or whatever the hell his name is. Like,
I
mean, bro,
typically it's the best team.
Full line too, yeah. Like, what was that like? Did you guys know, like, coming out of the gates, like, we have the best players in the country right now, like 2 receivers that are absolute studs, our defense. Like, what was that feeling like going into that year?
Right, it was crazy because, like, springtime, like, I don't know if y'all heard about the story, like, me and Joe getting in a fight at the spring practice and all that stuff. So, yeah.
It was briefly.
Yeah. You know how Coach O's a fired up dude and offense is killing us at practice. And we started getting some stops. So Joe scrambled one play and Jacoby hits him.
Hit Joe Burrow.
Hit Joe.
Oh, boy. That's how you get kicked off the team?
So Coach O likes that, though. That's what people don't know. So, but Joe, kind of Joe kind of like blew the whistle, like, hey, don't hit Joe. So we get to the huddle, and I'm like, we're giving him shit. Let's hit him again. So it just happened to be me this time.
Let's go.
Joe rolled out, and I gave him like a little shove. I ain't really hit.
Yeah.
I gave him like a little shove out of bounds, and he kind of like tripped. And he gets up, and he threw in a complete pass. I'm like jumping in his face and talking trash and stuff, and he just rears back, pow! And the next thing you know, we touching on the ground. And I got him in the headlock. He punching me. Jacoby rounds over, punches him. Then the offense come from the whole opposite sideline, and then it's like a big brawl. And they finally got us settled like 10 minutes later, and Coach O just like brings us in a circle and was like, hey, we're going to be good, but y'all got to stop. Y'all are bad.
I was going to say, I kind of got the chills. Yeah, he knew.
So he knew because the offense was killing us every single day. Like, it was bad, bro. Like, I'm talking about you guys, Derek Stingley on one side, Christian Fulton on one side. They couldn't stop him. You got Grant over the top at safety, couldn't stop it. We couldn't stop the run, like talking about. Like, we was just getting torched.
Bro, how many pro guys were on that team now? I'm thinking about Delpit, Stingley,
Christian,
you,
Caleb Vine.
Who's the D-line? Who's in
Braden was on the D-line.
Okay.
Shar Lawrence, Glenn Logan, Apu. We had some guys on defense. Everybody knew offense already, obviously.
Yeah, the offense was crazy.
It was crazy. And then the crazy part is Jamar wasn't even starting at first. Just crazy. Harris Marshall, I don't know if y'all know his name. He was pretty good. Yeah. And the dude, he was starting and he ended up breaking his foot or something.
And that's how he got. That's how he came.
And Jamar ended up getting the outside spot. I think Jamar was rotating. Somebody was rotating. I can't remember who, but I know Terrence was starting for sure. And then that happened.
All right. So answer me this: what were guys getting paid before the NIL? Like, you don't got to be specific with guys' names and shit, but like,
Either.
What were guys getting paid, bro? Come on, like you're telling me to get these guys down there. Like every school was doing it.
LSU, I think it was more like
car deal. Come fill up. Here's $20,000 in a bag on the front seat. Drive this car away.
See, it was just so right. It was so much stuff going on. Like you would never know. Like it would be like, because not everybody that came to LSU was like less fortunate. You know, like people came from some pretty good families and stuff. So it was like you would never know. So it's just like, oh yeah, he dropping this. Now the guys who you knew came from less fortunate stuff, it was like, how you got these men a pair of shoes? Yeah. Like my check and your check is the same check. Yeah, I can't afford that. So
there was some shit.
There was definitely some stuff going on, but
everybody was doing it.
I think it was mostly like cars, maybe houses. I know some players, I ain't gonna say on my team, who have some pretty nice houses on some golf courses.
God, they see, like, that shit is crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, that was before it was legal. Now it's legal, and
it's crazy, though.
I'm happy for the kids. Like, they deserve to be paid. Like, you go into LSU, you're playing football, like, it's a full-time job.
Right.
You deserve, and you're going to school. Yeah. That's another full-time job.
People don't realize, like, once that lunchroom closed and that cafeteria closed, it's routes.
I know. Talk about that, because people don't understand those training table situations, and they're like, well, the cafeteria is open, players get to eat, blah, 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 but back in the day, kind of like...
It closed at 6, that's it.
Yeah, so you were paying for food after that if you wanted food.
You had to pay for food. I remember I text Coach O one day because I was starving. And it was like 8 o'clock at night, 8:30. I'm like, Coach, do y'all have any food anywhere that I could, like, grab something?
Yeah.
He's like, y'all got to figure it out. I said, damn.
He won't put that on his phone.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And on his phone, he'll get some food, we'll get it figured out and stuff. But it was just, like, people don't understand, like, you'll have, like, a check that you get at the beginning of the semester or whatever. It's like $2,800. Mm-hmm. Then you pay rent. My rent was like $2,200. So I had $600 out of that to last me a whole month. And it's
for the semester.
Gas, food, whatever, clothes going out.
Yeah, it's really not. It's nothing. You were paying for free.
Yeah, and you're in the spotlight. Like, you're generating so much money, attention, awareness. Like, I mean...
Might as well.
Yeah, ask most kids what college is like for a regular person. Like, this shit's tough. Like, it's, going to college, like, it's hard. But now you have to do that in front of, like, millions of fans across the world, like, and everybody's watching you. It's a whole different atmosphere. So I think...
Name and then you can't get nothing off of it. It's crazy.
This episode is brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. There's never a fee unless we get money for you. PQ, point to the camera real quick. Give me a little point. Never a fee unless we get money for you. Shout out to Edgar Snyder. Been around 40-plus years. They've been doing it. They won't whack your wallet. They're just normal people, normal lawyers, guys that would have beers with. So If you or anyone else you know has been injured in an accident, call Edgar Snyder. Like I said, there's never a fee unless we get money for you. So you guys win the national championship. There's videos of Odell with Cash. What was that after party like in New Orleans?
Bro,
Just like, you just won the natty. I mean, that shit had to have been incredible. The White House video of you guys, like the GAT.
it was crazy.
Oh.
I just, the locker room was probably crazy. You couldn't even see in the locker room. It was so much cigar smoke. You could not see
that. I love that.
You could not see. And I remember like Jarvis, Devin, guys, Odell being in there, some other guys. But I didn't even get to go to the after party.
The press conference.
I didn't even get to, no, it wasn't even a press conference, bro. It was, my ex wanted to see me because I was about to leave, go to training. I had made up my mind I was going to leave and stuff. So she was just like, hey, can you spend time with me? So I was like, cool, yeah, I'll spend time with you. And I ended up staying with her and not going to the after party, which I totally regret because it was a great time. Saw a lot of videos.
I bet.
Saw a lot of videos, but best believe I was at the one in BR the next day.
How was that one?
That was great.
Well, when we win the Super Bowl, you ain't missing the Super Bowl. I don't care who's calling you. Super Bowl.
I'm going to be there before you.
No, I might be there for 5. I'm going to die in the city that night. I would die.
Get a cement over top of you in Pittsburgh.
I remember when the Steelers won the Super Bowl in what year was that? 2000? Was it 08? Whatever year it was. The Super Bowl parade in Pittsburgh was wild.
Yeah.
Like, wild. Southside, all the streets were shut down. People were hanging off the fucking parking garages. Yinzers were going, like, yeah, they'll die for that.
I would need a babysitter for that parade.
Yeah. Jack Kearney. Called Niner or security.
Yeah, I'll be babysitting everybody.
Yeah, I'm going
to need 2 babysitters, yeah.
Right.
When that shit happens,
yes.
just we'll have to have security there.
Oh, my God. It's going to be insane.
After that, you decide to go pro, start training for the combine. What was your combine experience like?
It was nice and it sucked at the same time, I think.
And did you have any inkling that you were going first round? Like, did you obviously in your own mind knew, like, I'm a first rounder, like, I belong, whatever. But, like, from the rumblings around scouts, your coaches, did you have any, like, tell that you were going first round?
Yeah. So at the time, my agent was like, hey, you getting early second round, late first round grades and stuff. And then I remember going to Coach O's office, like, trying to, like, see, like, if I'm going to really leave. Like, I had made my mind up, but I wanted to see, like, obviously to come back, what could I get, and all that stuff. So I remember going up to Coach O, he was like, you getting 3rd, 4th round grades and stuff. And, you know, I was like, it's no way. Like, even though, like, it was my first year start, I didn't even start until, like, game 4 or 5 or whatever it was.
Wow.
And he was just like, hey, you can go 3rd, 4th round. Like, I'd just rather take my chances, like, going to the league, you know, if I ain't going to come back. And not get what I want and stuff. And, you know, everybody was leaving already. I think Grant, a couple guys that texted the group message was like, yeah, I'm leaving. Joe texted the group message was like, hey, I'm leaving. It was like, yo, shit, Joe. Like, but like, it was a crazy experience. And then getting to the combine, you talking to the coaches and stuff. And it's like, you got the formal. And I think I had like 28 formals and stuff. So I got to talk to every single team except the Rams, because the Rams was like, we don't have a first round. Tennessee couldn't get on the formal. Pittsburgh, because they didn't have a first round, they traded it for Minka, and then some other team. But the formals are crazy. It's like, it's the most intense. Like, you sitting in a room just like this, and, you know, you're the one guy sitting right here with a camera, and it's like coaches all lined up, sitting next to you and stuff, and they just asking you questions the whole time. I got in a standoff conversation with John Gruden and Pete Carroll.
Wait.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. Pete was asking me about a RPO, and he's like, how would you play the RPO? And I'm like, if I'm front side, I'm playing a run. If I'm backside, I'm holding for the wide receiver. He's like, why? So I'm like, because he's running a route, and this zone is going to be vacant if I leave. And this side, you can play the run because you have no responsibilities. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why? So I explained to him again. He's like, what makes you sure? I'm like, because this. So, like, he kept going back and forth. And, bro, I'm like, all right. At this point, I'm like showing it now. I'm like, this is why, like trying to, like, calm down. And I don't know if that was a test or whatever, but.
There's like rumors that if you had to sit down with New England, that they ask like some weird ass questions. Like,
see, I don't get no weird questions, but Belichick wasn't even in there. So, but they're like, they was just weird. They're off. I would say that. Yeah.
Different. I remember when I signed there, like, I was there for a cup of coffee. But when I signed there after a workout, I was up there in the front office, and I sat down, and they were asking me, like, not even like football, just like some personal ass questions, like about my family, about everywhere. I'm like, why the fuck did you bring me in then? Like, didn't you already like know what, like the whole story, everything? Like, they were asking some questions where I was like, yo, I'm here on a workout. I'm about to sign, knowing what I know now. Like, I'm gonna be cut in a week, whatever it is. Like, y'all are really asking me some crazy ass questions. But that's the NFL though.
It's an intense thing. Then it's like you be up till like 1 a.m.
That's what
2
everyone
a.m. and
says,
then you go to sleep. I mean, you wake back up at like 5:30 and you get ready for the same thing again. You do that over and over with tests.
What pisses me off is, like, we talk about how much, like, you know, NFL players got to take care of their body, and sleep is the most important fucking thing, and hydration and whatever else, putting good food in your body. But then they send these guys to the combine, and you're up till 2 a.m. eating a box of pizza.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, don't you want these guys to perform the best they can possibly perform?
Right.
And then we put them in these shitty situations.
Is that like a Hell Week test, you think? Like, you think it's a part of it?
It gotta be.
Seems like it.
It's so hectic, bro. Like, you do the informals downstairs. It's like picnic tables, and you like got a coach here, draw this up. You got guys running through. You got people videoing. You got to go upstairs, do the formals. You got people, you go to a formal room, they might be going over on their interview. So then you got to wait. Then you do their formal. Then you got a coach from another team coming knocking at the door like, hey, we need this guy for the formal. So now you're rushing out trying to get to the next formal. It's a hectic weekend. And like I said, you don't get no sleep. Then you got to do the test. You got to do like the computer test. You got to talk to people again. Media stuff. Then you gotta go out and do the actual field test and all that stuff, and you drained at that point. It's like, I remember warming up, telling one of my friends, like, bro, my body is crushed. Like, I never felt like this. Like, the whole time training for this. Or I pulled my hamstring. So it's just like,
You pulled your hammy.
you're up and doing my 40,
Would you run? 4.4 straight.
4.4 for a linebacker.
On a pulled hammy? Did you pull it like last 5 yards?
Literally, like the last 5. Yeah.
That shit's gotta be fucking terrible.
You know what's crazy? Peyton ran his faster than me with no ACL. That's crazy.
Yeah, his story. Peyton crazy. Peyton's story about how he has no ACL and how they told him he has no ACL. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He like didn't know. He had no idea.
That's so funny.
He said the doctors came in and told him, and he was like, you're wrong. Like, I had this knee like operated on. They reconstructed my ACL. You don't have one.
That's insane.
He can fly.
Bro,
Yes,
this
it's
crazy move. How he moves, bro, without no ACL is crazy.
Is insane.
Yeah.
So give us the lowdown on he got PED tested after.
Bro, oh, yeah.
What happened? Yeah, you broke those news, so you're gonna break it here again.
It was crazy.
That's hilarious. After the last game.
This past game.
Hey, you got a drug test?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
maybe.
he a fucking savage?
Crazy because I remember,
15 tackles and a pick.
bro,
Yeah.
you got to get tested. Like,
You got to get tested.
Be the rip sock and everything.
bro,
Kirk Schilling type shit.
but it was just crazy. I remember, like, my last year in Baltimore, I was balling. And I got drug tested, I think, 14 times that season. And it's just funny because I always used to tell them that story last season. I think I got drug tested maybe 3 times last season, 4 times. And then he had these 2 games where he just killed it this year.
Yeah.
And he rips his nose like, I'm like, yeah, get used to it. How you playing right now? You keep playing like that, get used to it.
It's a good sign, right?
It is.
Yeah, you should be pumped about
They
that.
claim that's random.
It's not random.
It is not fucking random.
Completely random.
No.
That's not
I
fucking.
only had one in my blood. Yeah, so that shit ain't random. Boss has a 5 field goal game. He gets them.
Yeah.
It's not random.
That is
It's
crazy.
not random.
Yeah, when he chased down Jordan Addison, I would also be checking him too.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm surprised.
This shit's crazy.
Not. I don't think they tested anybody for that game.
No, we
Yeah,
just did it as a test at the airport where you're right. Speaking of that, the airport traveling back was hilarious. We were just in like the Ireland like public airport.
Yeah, what was that like?
Yeah,
What was that like? People recognizing you and stuff, or like
Yeah.
questioning you?
fucking Cam Hayward in an elevator with a bunch of like real civilians. Yeah, civilians from Ireland.
Yeah.
who are shorter.
Yeah.
Like they're like giants.
Then they supposed to be getting off on like floor 4 or whatever. We getting off on 2 and they're like trying to get off on 2. It's like,
Yeah.
No,
it's crazy.
that was a good experience though, Ireland. I'm glad we got that. You get let's get back into this. You get into the draft, finish the combine, drafted in the first round by Baltimore. What was your feeling like? You wanted to go to Baltimore? Like that was,
Yeah.
I mean, Baltimore, Ray Lewis, like that
Yeah.
had to have been a cool feeling.
Sucks.
You getting drafted by Baltimore, knowing like Ray Lewis was that fucking guy there for years. So what was that called, like Harbaugh and that whole situation?
It was shocking, honestly, because more through the draft process, you start like getting to the teams that's like calling you every day and like, hey, you could go here, and you see all the mock drafts and stuff. So I know the Raiders was looking for a linebacker, and they had like pick 12 and 19. Miami was looking for one. They had 3 picks in the first round. Green Bay needed one. The Chargers needed one. The Saints needed one. And then Baltimore, Kansas City was like, we need one. So,
damn, that's a good draft to come out.
It was right there. Yeah. So the first few went. So the Raiders went. They didn't pick one. I think Miami had some. They didn't pick one. The Chargers ended up, I don't know if they traded back. I think they might have traded back. And then the Packers traded in front. When the Packers traded in front, I was like, because my sister's a huge Green Bay fan, Aaron Rodgers fan. So she's pumped. She was so happy for me to try to go there, and then they ended up taking Jordan Love, obviously. Hell of a player.
Yeah, which was crazy at that time.
And then it was the Saints coming up when the Saints needed one. Ooh. So it was just like,
would that have been a dream come true to go? No,
I did not want to stay home again. No. Did not. I refused. But it would have been cool, like, to be back home, obviously, play for the Saints. But I was so ready to like try something new, get somewhere new.
Yeah.
With that draft, once Baltimore called, it was like, okay, it's on. Like, I know the history of defense and stuff, and you got Lamar Jackson and stuff, so it's just like,
oh yeah,
why not?
Yeah. And I asked you this before. I think I asked you this last week. What was the mindset going into AFC North games? Because I obviously now it coming from Pittsburgh standpoint of like when we play Cincy, when we play Cleveland, when we play Baltimore, like it's the same shit. We know each other so well, but it's interesting to hear like what it was like for Baltimore playing Pittsburgh. So if you want to touch on that a little bit, I feel like that's an interesting topic.
That was the week in Baltimore. Like, obviously you play Cincinnati. It's going to be a game. They got Joe and all those guys. Cleveland was just, it's Cleveland, but like, they going to play us hard, like be on your stuff. But when it came to Pittsburgh, bro, it was like the air just get thick. Like it was like Pittsburgh week. They bringing up all the old highlights and stuff, like for both sides, like not just Baltimore, like both hits on both sides. All the trash talking, but the respect that comes behind it. Mike T versus Harbaugh, the whole rivalry and stuff. So it was always an intense week, and you just knew what you was about to get that week. It was either gonna be a low scoring game with a lot of hits, or
with rain.
Exactly. It was all. I think the only game it didn't rain was when we played Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh my last year. Yeah. And that's the only time it didn't rain.
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2023 at our place. That was the only game I've been a part of. It didn't rain.
Yeah. It's actually sunny. Yes. I think that's a sunny one too.
It was.
It's football gods.
Every single time. So it's going to be hard-nosed football, dirty weather. But that's the football you like, especially late in the year. Like, you can't do too much. You just, both teams know what you do, and you got to do it well every single play.
Well, bro, they know they make that schedule with purpose. Like, they know they put Baltimore, Pittsburgh, week 18 every year. Yeah, like they know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
But it's crazy now because like now it's like damn near back to back. It used to be like when I first got it was like week 5 you'll play. Yeah. And then the next one will be the last week, obviously. But
we play them like 2 times in 4 weeks. This is like the second year in a row we're doing that.
Right.
And we played them 3 times in like 6 weeks because of the playoffs. Met them in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
It's intense.
What's the recruitment process like coming from interdivision team like that, and how much cooler is the Steelers and the Ravens?
Oh, yeah.
I did it.
Right.
Yeah, you're fishing.
It's crazy, though, because I remember, like, last year when I was in Baltimore, I was, like, we just played y'all. We lost at home, at y'all Pittsburgh. Yeah, it's getting them confused and stuff. But I just remember, like, walking past, shaking everybody's hand, talking to people, talking to Najee. And Najee was like, hey, you need to come to Pittsburgh, this and that, under his breath and stuff. And then I remember somebody walking by, scout-wise, I was like, I didn't know who it was at the time. They were like, hey, free agency, we're going to come out at you. Like, make sure you come to us. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm not even thinking about free agency right now and this and that. And then we play them again. Like, in the second time, it didn't even mean nothing for us to play because we had already locked up every game.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I remember I wasn't even supposed to play, and I ended up playing. And then same dude walked by me again, like, hey, free agency getting close. Don't forget about us. So I'm like, bro, can you leave me alone?
Tampering.
That's awesome.
So coming to Pittsburgh, I mean, it felt right. Like the whole process for agency is super stressful. You get a bunch of teams. Like as soon as it opens, like it's like these is pre-certified teams. They talking money that you want. Then somebody signs, it's like the whole market just says nah. which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you still get two teams that are paying the money that you want, but it's like, I don't know if I can go do that. Like,
Right.
Yeah, Pittsburgh steady calling. And I'm like, I really wasn't paying no mind at first. Like, I was just like, okay, it's Pittsburgh, cool. How much they talking? All right, whatever. Go to the next team. And then they kept calling. I'm like, you know what?
They really do want me.
They were on me.
Yeah.
I know them. I get to play Baltimore twice. Why not? At the time, I was still built up of revenge and stuff.
Yeah.
Pissed off.
Yeah.
But you know, I think everything happens for a reason. I think I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, it fits me. I love the black and yellow. It's the perfect fit.
Was Mike T a big reason to come here? I mean, a lot of guys we talked to coming on are like, pretty gung ho set on like, I think Mike T. I want to play for Mike T.
Yeah, most definitely, because you hear from all the former players and stuff like how much they love him. And then, you know, once you get around them, you can honestly feel it and stuff. And I know we had the little whole argument thing about me being on the sideline, talking about you're not a Raven and all that stuff. So, you know, you could kind of feel that vibe from him, that he's a good coach and he's a player's coach. So that was definitely a huge boost.
I mean, I remember that when he would scream it, "You're not a Raven." Like, because like during our team meetings, those years when you were in Baltimore, it was you, Roquan, and then Kyle Hamilton got drafted, I think, after. It was like those three that we talked about, like you and Roquan. Like, you got to get 4 hands on these dudes.
Right.
But that was it. So he was definitely high on you from the jump. I mean, you could like tell the players when he gets on a team meeting, like he has his guys that he knows. I mean, obviously the guys that he brings up are like the impact players are going to fucking impact the game, but you know, he has his guys that he likes, and he was on that list for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
because
Mike T.
I vividly remember talking about Queen and talking about how our O-line needed to establish our relationship with you and with Roquan Smith.
Yeah. No, I think it's hilarious. Didn't you? So Najee recruited you in a way, but like, didn't you also? Wasn't the training camp you got signed to the Steelers? Didn't you guys go at it?
I gotta stop that before because it's.
This isn't a bad. I'm not saying it isn't.
They go at it with everybody.
Yeah.
He could be fighting with every, not just him, of course. Like, every backer is fighting every running back in history.
I wanted to emphasize like that's like how that works. Like that's your boy. Then you get into practice and you guys are 2 pit bulls going at it.
It's fucking crazy.
It's hilarious. I love it. I think it's dope.
For one, he went to Bama, so that's where it starts off for a player. So like we already got.
You did. Okay.
But it's history. Yeah, he's like, I got a little history, but I mean, you get to practice and it'd be like, hey, Najee, I'm chilling today. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Then you get to the field, he's trying to run you over. So it's like, all right, cool. Now it's on. It's all. So, I mean, but you got to have a teammate like that, that's going to bring it every single practice. And, you know, it sucks what happens to him this last few months, bro. It's just been crazy for him. But, you know, that's a guy that you want to go against. One of the best. I feel like one of the best.
He really is.
Pass blocking and running.
Yeah.
So,
who would you say is one of the hardest tackles? That, you know, I know you probably like nobody, but if you were to pick somebody that you're like, fuck, that guy's he's a hard tackle, who would it be? Jalen Warren, 30.
Used to be Nick Chubb.
Oh, yeah.
It's his job, yeah. I couldn't, bro. That's 1 week. Like I said, you play in Cleveland, but you got to bring your stuff. Like Nick Chubb coming to the stadium is on.
Damn.
I would say him, 30 for sure. Jalen a hard tackle.
You guys brought it a little differently that when Jalen carried the ball.
Yeah.
Like,
because you know.
Serious, bro. Like,
you know, like, if you don't come with it, it's all, you're going to be on ESPN.
Bro, because the first time I feel like you guys played against Jalen was at our place his rookie year, and, like, they didn't really know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he hurdled somebody for a first down, like a crucial late game on our sideline. I'll never forget it because we were going to have to punt, and I was like, please get this. And this motherfucker hurdled somebody. We was like, oh, my God. Yeah. But no, I feel like, and then after that, they knew.
Yeah.
And it was a different, like, they were all tackling this man differently, like killing him.
Yeah.
Trying to kill him.
You know how coaches be like, hey, this kid, he went to this college. This is college highlights and stuff. And you watch what he did in college. Like, whatever, dude, like, it's college. All right. And then you play him that first time, and it's like, damn, like, they wasn't bullshitting. So now it's like, okay, now it's on. So, like, the next time you preparing all week, like, we tackling all week, do the things to prepare for it. Then you get to the game, it's like, see him in. You got to bring it.
He's really like
that. Bring it. And he's so short, like, he's just, like, sturdy. Like, he's short to the ground, but he's sturdy. Like, I always talk about that one play, like, I had on Pittsburgh sideline when I was trying to tackle him. I, like, ran to him, chest him, and try to grab him and toss him out of bounds. he like slung me off and stuff. It was
Over
like,
top.
yeah.
I remember that.
Bro.
Yeah, I remember his vivid plays from Baltimore, Pittsburgh games too. Like
You remember everything.
you remember everything because they're such crucial, tight games. Like I know everything that went on in these games.
Are you the football Rain Man over here?
No. A-Rod is like a football rain man.
Yeah.
A-Rod remember everything.
Talk about that real quick. Yeah. That dude's a Rolodex.
Bro, that's probably the smartest. Him and Joe Burrow, bro, is the two smartest like human beings when I met to like that could remember every single thing that happens.
Yeah.
Like pass wise, like
Can't teach that either, right?
no,
Dude,
Yeah.
no.
A-Rod, you'll ask him about a game, NFC Championship game from 2011. He'll know like exactly what the play call was. Like
That's insane.
I had this Jordy Nelson on this dig route, but I threw the post over here. Like he'll remember shit like that. Like I remember like hits. Like I remember that. I remember Jalen's hurdle, like that stuff. But this motherfucker remembers the actual play where he threw it.
He literally just did it in an interview the other day. They asked him about the Steeler game when he was playing in Green Bay, and he was like, "Oh yeah, me and Ben went at it, and he threw like 5 touchdown passes. He called the first play.
Bro, and then
First play we ran was this."
And then he said, and that game didn't finish so well because Steelers scored a last like 0 time on the clock.
Yep.
Mike Wallace, I think, touchdown in the corner of the end zone.
Yes.
And A-Rod's like, I threw 5 touchdowns that game, but it didn't finish so well. Like for him to like remember that shit wild. That dude's been fucking playing football in the professional level for 20 plus years.
Throwing a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, I'd say a lot.
Yeah.
Let's get off topic here. I want to talk about your fishing. This dude's an avid fisherman.
We gotta get Christian out on the list.
No, I don't. Got to know shit about fishing.
He was telling me he'll be seasick and stuff.
Oh, I would get sick out there. I would have to put the Dramamine patches. You know the patches. Even if we're not even on the ocean, like I would need to put that shit on. But this guy's like, he got his boat. Him and KB are like, you guys aren't the same. You don't fish for the same. Like he goes ice fishing. Does like all kinds of crazy shit. You're more down in the mud.
Yeah.
Like fishing in the fucking Louisiana.
Yeah, we talking different
with
types of
alligators.
countries.
Yeah, I just love to fish, man. I used to do it when I was little. I used to go with my dad just mainly to dry the boat, but obviously fishing and grow up fishing, then you get out of it because of sports, baseball, football, take up the whole year. Go to college, don't have that much time to fish. You come back every now and then, even though I only stay 30 minutes away. And the few breaks I did, I'll go fishing with them. Then COVID happened. And then I remember me and my boy was just sitting there talking like, hey, you want to go fishing? Like, yeah, got a few spots. So we like both trying to figure out how we going to do it if we ain't got no boat.
Yeah.
So I like begged my mom to like help me buy the boat, bought a boat for like $17,000 or whatever it was. Right there, paycheck. But,
Yeah, well, come on. They bought you the boat.
oh man, but that's how it started. I've just been hooked ever since. Started being friends with a lot of the pro anglers and stuff.
Would you do
Going with them.
Would you do it competitively?
I think I would.
And what is that?
If I had time to learn.
And it's a skill.
Yeah.
Because like, I watch fishing. I'm like, dude, just throw it in there.
Yeah.
And like, hopefully I'm lucky today. Like, but there's a skill. He's
Yeah.
showing me some shit. He has a radar. Like, he's a high tech shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Like it's like sports, like it's strategy and stuff. You got to know wind, direction, water levels, water temp, low tide, high tide, whatever, fish, how they traveling, what time of year, what they like, time of years and stuff.
What's your prize catch? Most prize catch?
Mine was an 8.9 largemouth.
Okay.
So didn't break that up.
9 largemouth bass.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, it's big. He was 30. He was like guy long.
What was that fight like?
Right, it was crazy. I threw crankbait like last few casts, sun going down, threw a crankbait, white one, then clear water, just reeling it, and it just felt like it hit grass. So like I'm trying to reel it, and it's like tugging back, but it's not like a fish tug, like it's just like something heavy. So at first I thought like I had like an alligator or snapper turtle or something, and then like it just got super loose, and the like line got loose, and it just.
Oh shit, that's sad.
He looked at me like, start reeling. I'm running it back again. It was like a 5-minute fight. I got the video. It's like a 5-minute long video.
I'm just fighting a largemouth bass.
That's crazy.
Bro.
Can you catch an alligator, or would they break the line? Like, would that just break the line?
When we throw frogs, like
As
throw
bait?
frogs, like not a real frog, but like a little like plastic frog or fake frog, whatever you want to call it, rubber frog. You'll throw it on braid. So braid is super strong. 30 pounds, 20 pounds, whatever you throw it on, 50. you'll throw that and they'll chase it, but sometimes they'll smack it, and they smack it, you like set hook, and like you start fighting with one.
Oh sure.
If you got a good enough pole and stuff, but it's fun. It's fun.
Have you ever had any like other altercations with alligators?
Nah,
because like you're in the swamp.
Yeah,
I don't trust that shit.
They'll come up pretty close. They won't get in the boat most of the time.
Will they hit the boat? Like
I haven't had one hit my boat. The closest one probably got is like 5 feet away. Usually when they get close to the boat and they see people on it and stuff, like they sink back down and go somewhere else, and they pop up somewhere else.
Alligators pulling out, be like, oh, that's Patrick Queen. Fuck it, we're not doing it. We're not going after this boat. He's gonna fuck us up. Could you imagine the guy's PQ? Fuck.
It would suck to be an alligator that day.
Bro, it's fun though. It's like down in the country, nothing better to do. Like it's just you and your boys fishing, having a good time, trying to learn, using the freaking live scope that people say is cheating, but you could throw a bait down there and watch the bass come up, look at it, swim back off. And
like a live camera?
It's like live, so like it's like a radar, but it's live. So like you can see a fish swim like this, you can see his tail, and all that stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, I gotta get out there.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
We got to do a little tour with you. I mean, half your team is fishermen, so.
You do. I know.
We'll go up north and we'll go down south to PQ. We'll go everywhere. But
Yeah. We're going to get you a fishing sponsor. That'd be dope.
Bro, I don't even know. Bro, when I fish, everyone stay the fuck away from me.
You'll be hooking people?
Yeah. People are like, bro, who brought this dude? Seriously. My uncle used to be like, don't even touch anything. Like, we'll tell you when to start reeling. Like, just don't touch it.
You a kid throwing rocks in the corner?
I'm more of like, I'm there for the beers. I'm not gonna. Yeah. There for the beers, the chew, cigar.
Yeah.
Like, I'm there for the bag. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing else, but it's like even when a fish gets on the hook, like I do. Sometimes I feel bad.
Yeah, I said hook. I don't care. The face could come off. I don't care. I'll take everything.
Yeah. Yeah, them alligators scared. That's fishing with a linebacker. Bro, when
I feel bad. They're flapping around like, dude, it's crazy. It's just sometimes it makes you feel bad. Yeah. What the fish do.
Yeah, you're a sweet guy.
You never feel bad?
They don't even remember it.
Yeah.
They don't even remember it. You can throw a fish back and literally throw something right there and they'll go smack it again.
That's what's crazy to me. That they actually, like, you could catch the same fish twice.
They don't remember.
Yeah.
They don't remember nor
do they care. It's one or the other. They either don't remember or don't care.
Like, get your fixture. Keep it going.
Shit. Well, PQ, this has been real. I don't want to keep you too long. I appreciate you coming in today. Boys, thank you. This wraps up season 2 episode. I think it's 68.
He didn't crack 7 total.
70 maybe?
70 maybe.
We do this every fucking episode.
Because like we're gonna know. Like you'll fucking know.
6 days to do the research and nobody does it.
Sorry.
It will have like a benchmark, like when you hit something.
Yeah. We should have a benchmark. I originally wanted to like try to record episodes with like year number 6.
Yeah.
Season 2, episode 6.
Yeah.
It got too hard with guys' schedules and shit. Like I'm trying to get guys in here. It's like it's too hard. I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, we started the new season when we hit episode 46 for his numbers. So we're just like, the end of the season kind of worked out like really well when going into the new season. So I guess that's our low Easter egg. So
I should do something like top 3 funniest on the team or something at one time.
That would be fun.
One time.
Yeah.
You know, we'd have like
Deshaun can't call.
No.
Deshaun's go.
Deshaun needs edited. He needs edited.
Deshaun needs a therapist. No, I love Deshaun. He's great. He's great.
Probably DK. This will be a funny one. DK, Deshaun, Ramsey.
Oh my goodness, bro.
That'd be hilarious.
I don't even know how I'd control those 3 if they were in.
That would be hilarious.
We need that.
I wouldn't even talk. I would just let them
go.
Just sit there and watch them. All 3 go at it.
I just say post-retirement pods are going to be crazy because then just let it flow.
Well, a big fan of a lot of our listeners are big fans of Skoranek.
Yeah.
No. No. Hell no.
They always want to see Skoranek on. He's been on twice.
Please don't. He already been on?
Twice. He was a repeat offender, came on twice. He was asking to come on because he knew you were coming on today. He's like, let me come on.
Bro, if he would have showed, I would have left.
I love a reaction that someone triggers like that. It's your boy, and you're like, fuck that, dude. Like,
I love him, bro.
Yeah.
But he's off.
He's off. He's off bad. Oh, God.
He wants to be the co-host, dude.
No. That would be the worst thing. That would be the worst. You will lose viewers. You have to move.
Answered so fast.
Bro, you have to move. You have to get to a discreet location. Right. Do not let that dude nowhere near this.
That's a polarizing figure, right?
It's been on twice.
Yeah.
PQ, thank you again. Like, share,
Hell yeah.
retweet, repost. I'll do my damn.
Hey,
See, I'm getting healthy.
oh, he's healthy.
That's it. I want to give a shout out to Oliverio Auto, a proud sponsor of ours. They're running a special for the month of November for all veterans. $500 off any vehicle they go in and buy, and half off any oil change for any veteran for the month of November. So shout out to Oliverio Auto, McDonald, PA, best in the business. Leave a comment. Hit up my guy Sal. We'll get you in contact with him. Any veteran, again, $500 off for any car purchase at Oliverio Auto, and half off for the oil changes for the month of November. Shout out to our veterans and shout out to Oliverio Auto. Thank you guys.